Good evening, friends. Um, I am coming to you using StreamYard, which is something I've never used before, personally, as someone that's hosting. I've been a participant or a guest on StreamYard, but never used it before to do a thing. So I wanted to practice today because, excuse me, the podcast that I am one third of, the Healing Corner podcast, we are live this Saturday, April 8th at 12:30 Central Standard Time, 12:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And since I am one third, it's been decided that we would take turns hosting. And so April is my month to host. And I need to practice before I show up to do a thing because that's how I am. Um, yeah, so one, I'm on here to test to make sure I know how to use StreamYard so that when it's time to do this on Saturday, I am not caught off guard with technological difficulties. But the other point of me doing a video and continuing to be on here, excuse me, got a little tickle in my throat, is because, I posted recently, I think it was last week or earlier this week, that I want to do more videos where I'm sharing tips about insights or whatever the case may be, something that I think that may be helpful for the people who decide to follow me. So yeah, that leads me to the topic, which is overcoming fear. And I'm just going to tell you, I guess, a story. So essentially, I have my whole life been comfortable working for somebody else and being in corporate and doing the things and, following the rules and all the things. And that's fine. That's a lifestyle that many people are comfortable in. But excuse me. But last year, I launched my coaching business, Healing is Work Coaching, because I, one, wanted to make a difference in the lives of people who feel like they have to do things a certain way and, be the gap, bridge the gap between where you think you have to do things and how life can actually be because of the options that are available to us once we get out of our own way and stop listening to other people's feelings and fears and projections, and just start trying things out and seeing how things work out, see what we like because we're actually doing a thing and seeing if we like a thing or don't like a thing. So I say all that to say fear cannot be the thing that keeps you from your dreams because if it is, then that's on you. Um, Back in the day, before I decided to start a business, I was okay with doing my corporate job. And then I decided I was no longer okay with doing that. And so that looks like me LLCing and doing all the things. And I don't know what the hell I'm doing, as is the case for most things that people are trying that they've never done before. And that's where the fear comes in. It's like, oh, I don't know if I can do this, or I don't know how to do all the things. And so, should I even start? And the answer is yes. You should always just start because last year when I started, I was not on social media for real. I had never been on a podcast like being interviewed. I've been on a podcast before, but not being interviewed like about my thoughts and expertise and whatnot. And so the idea of like a content calendar and paying for an LLC, even setting that up, hell, I thought that was going to be really hard. Um, Doing the things like taxes for the state of Tennessee, and just all the things like building out what a coaching program entails, pricing things, all the things. Literally, I had no idea what I was doing when I began this process, aside from the things that I had learned through the trainings and the coaching that I had received myself. But yeah, most things in life, there is no one way to do it. It's about figuring a thing out and giving it a go and taking a chance on yourself and deciding What's the worst that could happen? Unless you're putting yourself in immediate danger, stop letting fear hold you back. There's something great on the other side of whatever it is that you keep avoiding doing. Um, Today, so, some fear that I had to get over was dealing with these Tennessee taxes. I don't know anything about sales and use tax and franchise tax and business tax. Child, I don't know. I registered for all the things because that's what you're supposed to do. Somebody said, and now here we are, and I've missed a deadline on one of them, and the other deadlines are right around the corner, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I have to read things. I have called the phone numbers that are on the websites for these sites or for these things that I have to do things for. So yeah, I've talked to the Department of Revenue a couple of times the last couple of days because I don't know what I'm doing and I have questions. And that's how you overcome fear. You overcome fear by just doing the damn thing. You're not always going to know the next right action, but if you're in action, then you're closer than you were when you were just sitting still and doing absolutely nothing. I hope you all have enjoyed my purple robe. It is evening time. I am about ready for bed. I'm going to wrap up a few things. But I just wanted to impart some evening knowledge on you on this fine Thursday, and also try out StreamYard so that I am ready to come to y'all live uh, for the Healing Corner podcast. We'll be talking about the origin story, essentially, of how we came to be a podcast. Um, I think it's really interesting to see how life unfolds and when you allow things to just kind of come together, where that can lead you. Um, yeah, that's what I have for y'all. Um, if you've got any thoughts or comments or anything, put them down below. I would love to hear what you've got to say, what's on your mind. And I'm going to work on showing up more on video and talking about things that would be helpful. But I want y'all to know you're not out here alone doing a thing by yourself and you're the only one that's doing this hard shit. We all have no idea what we are doing. We are figuring it out to the best of our ability. You are doing great. You are exactly where you need to be. And it's all going to work out as long as you don't stay in your way. Get the hell out your way. You got this. Talk to y'all on what is it? Saturday? Yeah, and I think that we could bring you on live if you had a question even. So, you know, if you want to know more about the podcast, thehealingcornerpodcast.com, or if you go to yamanamitchell.com, everything that I have going on is there. Plus the podcast has a link over there. So anyway, ta-ta for now.